In this world, some people pursue happiness in material possessions, while others long for the serene joy of nature. There are also those who transcend materialistic lifestyles and find spiritual happiness through contentment and detachment. What kind of happiness should we seek? Materialistic living can fulfill our needs, but cannot provide lasting happiness. Only through contentment and detachment can we attain enduring joy. The saying goes, when a person has no desires, their virtues naturally elevate. Even without extravagant attire or indulgence in gourmet delights, a person who is free from greed possesses innate moral nobility. Such a person does not harbor envy or engage in comparisons, avoids conflicts and disputes, and maintains a humble and accommodating approach to life. Many revered sages throughout history earned respect not because of vast estates and luxurious residences, but because they cultivated their moral character through contentment and detachment, exemplifying the philosophy of emptiness. Only those who can break free from the prison of desires have hope of finding true happiness. Like Confucius's student, Yan Hui, who could live happily with a simple meal and a modest drink. Or Tao Yuanming from the Jin dynasty, who willingly resigned from his official position and found contentment in a secluded life, delighting in the beauty of chrysanthemums and the sight of southern mountains. Master Xuanzang from the Tang dynasty, despite receiving special treatment from the state, remained detached from fame and gain, preserving his integrity. In modern times, Great Master Hongyi used the same towel for decades, and even when the food was too salty, he didn't complain, saying, "Salty brings its own taste, and plain has its own flavor." This demonstrates the importance of cultivating personal character and finding joy in simplicity. Ordinary people often pursue wealth and fame, but in reality, enjoying surpasses owning and providing a broad, beautiful perspective on life. For instance, even though mountains, rivers, plants, and trees do not belong to me, I can still wander among them and experience happiness. While I may not possess the world's wealth, I can enjoy the fresh breeze and the moon, care for the world around me, and consider all humans as my brothers and sisters. I can enjoy the vast expanse of the universe, which is greater, larger, and wider than owning a town, a city, or even a country. Therefore, life does not necessarily require a pursuit of ownership, as no amount of possession can satisfy insatiable desires. A life of contentment and enjoyment brings happiness and fulfillment in every aspect. I have always admired a saying from the Hakka people. When you ask them, "Have you eaten?" most people would respond, "Yes, I have," or "I'm full." But the Hakka people answer differently. They will tell you, "I'm satisfied." These two words hold significant meaning, indicating that they not only ate enough, but also felt deeply content. This simple phrase reflects a carefree and self-assured attitude. How could one feel impoverished or distressed in such circumstances? A contented person is the wealthiest individual in the world. Contentment and detachment generate the power of wisdom. If you can be content, you can be composed and reassess the meaning and value of life. Just like a vegetable seller who can be detached from money, only then can she generously give and allow money to maximize its value, earning the respect of others. Contentment and detachment mean selectively engaging with life, having desires but not being consumed by them. Those who can be content and detached can find peace of mind and enjoy the richness and fulfillment of life. Therefore, true wealth lies in contentment and detachment. Those who understand and practice contentment and detachment naturally possess the happiness and peace of life. There was a Zen master during the Jin dynasty who loved orchids. He planted many precious orchids in the temple garden. One day, he had to go out and instructed his disciple to take care of the orchids in his absence. Unfortunately, the disciple accidentally knocked over the orchid stands while watering them. Feeling guilty, the disciple thought, "I've broken the master's beloved orchids. When he returns, I wonder how angry he will be." When the Zen master came back, the disciple went to apologize and confess his mistake. However, to the disciple's surprise, the Zen master didn't blame him. Instead, he comforted him, saying, "I cultivate orchids to beautify the environment and offer them to the Buddha. I didn't cultivate them to get angry." It is said in the scriptures, compassion extinguishes greed and kindness stops anger. If we can learn from the Zen master's composure, we can reflect on ourselves. Am I making friends to get angry? Am I getting married to get angry? Am I raising children to get angry? Am I pursuing a career to get angry? Certainly not. By changing our thinking, we can naturally extinguish greed and stop anger, resolving conflicts subtly. Compassion is not about demanding from others, nor is it a measure of others' worth. It is a personal requirement. Compassion is not blind tolerance, nor is it about not defending oneself when fairness and justice are suppressed or when virtuous people are slandered and attacked. In such cases, one should bravely stand up. Compassion is not a fleeting emotion, but a constant heart of service. Compassion is not limited to one's family and friends, nor does it seek rewards. Compassion is not always about gentle encouragement and praise. Sometimes, for the sake of public welfare and guiding those who are stubborn, a wrathful expression may be necessary. This is the practice of great compassion that is difficult to achieve, but can be accomplished. Compassion has no enemies. With compassion, one can cultivate good karma and integrate into society, even merging with the universe as a whole. With compassion and acceptance, as the saying goes, greatness lies in tolerance. It naturally gathers the strength of others and receives assistance on the path to enlightenment. Confucius traveled among states to teach and had no fixed residence, yet he had 3,000 disciples. Buddha traveled through the 5 regions of India to propagate the Dharma, and when he expounded the Lotus Sutra, millions of heavenly beings and humans participated, with a constant following of 1,255 disciples. People have different personalities and needs, making it challenging to satisfy everyone. However, if we can approach others with a broad, accepting heart, we will naturally gain popularity and garner support from others. However, compassion and acceptance alone are not enough. They must be accompanied by the power of wisdom. In society, many people misinterpret the meaning of compassion, turning it from forgiveness and acceptance into indulgence and tolerance. In some cases, compassion is misused, leading to the root of evil. For example, indiscriminate release of animals can harm lives instead of saving them, and indiscriminate giving of money can fuel greed. Therefore, genuine compassion and acceptance must be guided by the wisdom of prajna, transcendental wisdom. Otherwise, misguided actions can diminish the original good intentions. A young person once had a dispute with a neighbor over a wall and wrote a letter to their father, who held an official position in the court, asking for help in winning the wall. The father, wise and understanding, replied with a letter saying, "Why bother sending a letter from thousands of miles away for just a wall? What harm is there if it's 3 feet shorter?" The Great Wall still stands today, and we no longer see the power of the first emperor of Qin. These few words illustrate the wisdom and art of interpersonal engagement, tolerance, and acceptance. The Buddhist scripture says, "One flower, one world, one leaf, one Buddha." In a grain of sand, a stone, a flower, or a leaf, we can perceive the profoundness of the universe, representing the coexistence and harmony of all things in nature. The same applies to human interactions. We should embrace different personalities, thoughts, and beliefs. Between nations, we should embrace different religions, ethnicities, and skin colors even more. When we observe the conflicts in the world, they often stem from differences in countries, cultures, ethnicities, and religions, leading to a lack of mutual acceptance. The disparities in wealth and social inequality exacerbate various forms of opposition, which is a problem that humanity must collectively face today. To overcome such challenges, we need compassion and tolerance. Compassion and tolerance awaken people's moral conscience, promote social prosperity and progress, resolve conflicts, prevent war and destruction, and ultimately contribute to lasting peace in the world. People often complain, "The burdens of life are suffocating me," or "The pressures and fickleness of human relationships are unbearable." What exactly disturbs our peace of mind? In this world, the heavy burdens and stresses we feel are often due to our inability to let go. For example, from a young age, many people constantly compare who their parents love more. As we grow up and pursue education, we compare ourselves with our peers to see who has better grades. When we make friends, we worry about whether they look down on us. In business, we become obsessed with comparing ourselves to others in terms of wealth and profits. When we fall ill, we fret over life and death. In old age, we worry about being left without anyone to care for us. Our minds are filled with endless concerns, burdened by attachment to self, and caught up in comparisons and calculations. There was once a devout Indian practitioner who brought 2 vases of flowers to visit the Buddha. Upon seeing him, the Buddha said, "Let go." The practitioner obediently let go of one of the vases. Again, the Buddha said, "Let go." So the practitioner released the other vase. Yet the Buddha still said, "Let go." Perplexed, the practitioner asked, "I have already let go of everything in my hands. What else should I let go of?" The Buddha replied, "When I tell you to let go, it is not just about letting go of the vases. It is about letting go of arrogance, anger, envy, and resentment, letting go of unwholesome thoughts and negative emotions. I often compare life to a suitcase. When we need to carry it, we lift it up. When it's time to let go, we put it down. When we lift it, we should bravely shoulder the responsibility with the mindset of who else but me. When it's time to let go, we should gracefully accept the circumstances. If we can let go, it becomes easier to lift again. If we are willing to take a step forward, there will be a future ahead. There was a small dog that spent its days chasing its own tail in circles. A bigger dog saw this and asked, "What are you doing?" The small dog replied, "They say our happiness is in our tail, so I'm chasing happiness." The big dog told him, "You will never find happiness by chasing your tail. Just raise your head and walk forward, and happiness will naturally follow you." To lift up means to cultivate mindfulness, right conduct, right speech, right views, compassion, morality, wholesome connections, and diligence. To let go, we must be adaptable, humble, detached, and flexible. Let go of the greed for fame, reputation, and material gain. Let go of attachment to worries and sorrows. Let go even of the delusion of letting go itself until there is nothing left to let go of. As the 6th Patriarch Huineng said, originally, there is not a single thing. Where could dust be stirred? The saying goes, when the mind is preoccupied, the world becomes small. When the mind is free, the bed is wide. Once we let go of our attachments, we experience true freedom and ease. Lifting up and letting go are 2 sides of the same coin, equally important. Lifting up is not about competing, but about having the right intention, patience, and wisdom. Letting go is not about indulging in whims, but about cultivating a mindset of effort and dedication, selflessly contributing without concern for personal gain. It embodies the spirit of a bodhisattva. Throughout history, wise sages have prioritized benefiting others and not concerned themselves with personal gains or losses, even willing to sacrifice their lives. Wang Tianxiang, a prominent statesman of the Southern Song dynasty, remained steadfast in his principles even when captured by the Mongols. Although offered the position of prime minister, he refused and wrote the Song of Righteousness in prison to demonstrate his determination, leaving behind an eternal legacy. Confucius advocated sacrificing oneself for righteousness, while Mencius believed in giving up one's life for righteousness. Guan Yu, known for his unwavering loyalty, nurtured a noble spirit. Fan Zhongyan stated, "First worry about the country's concerns, then enjoy personal happiness." These ancient sages, by letting go of their ego, achieved greatness. Furthermore, the founder of Buddhism, Buddha Shakyamuni, relinquished the comforts of royal life as a prince to pursue the path of enlightenment. He traveled throughout the 5 regions of India, spreading the teachings of liberation from suffering and the attainment of happiness. Understanding how to let go allows us to embrace a broader world. By bravely lifting up, even our short and insignificant lives can be accompanied by happiness when we are willing to give to others. We can live with a tranquil and justified heart, naturally accompanied by happiness and joy. Thanks for tuning in to this Phut Guide extravaganza. I hope you've acquired some mind-blowing knowledge from this video and are now bursting with inspiration and motivation. And hey, if you're feeling generous, spread the wisdom by sharing it with your buddies. Oh, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Catch you on the flip side, my fabulous friends.